how's it going? I'm Zero.
I'm DK.
And I'm Rizzo, and today on Anime Reaction, we watched the 7th episode of the 2nd season of
Kono Subarashii!
If you want to check out our reaction to the 7th episode of the 2nd season of Kono Subarashii, hit that link in the description below.
And be sure to give us feedback in the comments section because we love hearing from you.
And as always, if you like what you see, subscribe to Otaku Saga. And don't forget to like and share our videos.
And thanks for watching. So, on this episode of Konosuba,
everyone gets fucking roasted. Especially the girls. Oh, those poor little things.
yeah.
Oh, fucking hell.
So, yeah, we start out with Megumin coming back to the mansion and freaking out because Kazuma and Aqua are acting really creepy.
Like creepy nouveau riche people.
Yeah, basically.
Or at least they're just acting like nouveau riche people and it creeps Megumin out.
Pretty much. I mean, to be honest, it kind of creeps me out a little bit too, but...
Yeah, especially because they're kind of doing the same skit over and over again with Kazuma and Aqua playing the clumsy maid.
Yeah. And then it's revealed that the reason why they're acting that way is because, oh god, what's that guy's name?
Veneer.
Yeah, Veneer.
I think.
Veneer stopped by and basically he wanted to renegotiate the deal that he and Kazuma had into basically moving away from the 50-50 split into either paying him a lump sum of, 300 million Eris?
Yeah, 300 million or $1 million a month.
Or 1 million per month.
For intellectual properties.
Yeah.
Or the rights to.
And so that basically, like, Kazuma's, thinking pretty pragmatically about it. It's like, well, I could basically retire on 300 million. And be pretty comfortable. However, if I go for the million, then that's, a guaranteed million every month. And I don't have to worry about the dwindling lump sum. On the other hand, they're probably not going to sell forever, so I should probably just take the lump sum because because it would give me more money in the long run.
I was like, what guarantee is that the trend of product selling is going to last 300 months?
Yeah. 300 months, that's... How many years is that? That's that's a long time.
More than 20. So, yeah.
Honestly, I would probably take the lump sum.
I've actually thought about this before. If I ever hit Powerball, I will take the lump sum. I don't care how much they tax it. It'll still be much more in hand than taking installation payments or payment installations.
Well, I mean, I thought about it actually, because I think about things that'll never happen. And if I ever won like the Powerball or something, I would probably take the installments because you're gonna get around the same amount anyway. But with the installments, it's a monthly deal or yearly deal or whatever, and you end up getting more in the long run.
I guess it depends on exactly what you want to do with it and how soon. Also,
because probably the largest amount of spending if I won the lottery, just getting way off fucking topic here.
Or it came into a large amount of money, like Cosmo.
Largest amount of spending would be right away, and then after that it would kind of dial back. However, I mean, if you're talking about say a $300 million Powerball, if you're cutting that into installments over 20 years, it's still a lot of money, even in the first payment.
Fair enough.
So that's my reasoning on that.
Yeah.
And plus, all those initial things will have upkeep costs, taxes, and all sorts of shit that you have to take care of.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I figure I'd take the lump sum and actually invest a pretty big load of it, and then try to invest sort of ventures I'd like to pursue off dividends of said investments. But
anyway, I think we should get back to the talking
delusions
about the
of
episode.
grandeur aside. Hey, we can dream, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, and we get a funny bit where Veneer and Aqua start getting into a fight because Veneer just walks through her barrier, and then basically calls it a barrier that was set up by
a botched barrier by a human priest.
Yeah.
Ouch.
By a human beginner priest.
That's some fighting words, boy.
Yeah, well, there's nothing Aqua can do about it.
Oh no, she tries to purify him. But anyway, yeah, we'll squabble aside.
That's pretty funny.
Again, though, that's just like one of many savage roastings our girls get this episode. It's glorious.
Yeah.
But Kazuma decides that this whole thing is kind of because he did break his neck and he's still
his neck really hurts, so
recovering.
he needs to laze around for a while. That'd really help. And then Megumin recommends that they go to a hot springs town. And Kazuma is Japanese, therefore he hears hot springs and he goes, "Oh, really?"
Oh, yeah, you need to be Japanese to get your hopes up when you hear the words hot springs.
Well, in anime, and then especially isekai anime, where they're in a world that's completely different to modern day Japan,
right.
You often see the Japanese characters being stereotypically really into hot springs.
Or anytime they get a taste of home.
Yeah,
In any sort of
basically.
way.
So, yeah, that's where I was going with that.
All right, so we'll just chalk that up to genre-savvy writing, then.
Yeah, well, yeah, pretty much. I mean, let's be honest, though. If somebody said Hot Springs Town to me, I'd be like, "Oh, really?"
Hot Springs Town, and you're rolling with girls like these. Come on, people.
Yes, because even Kazuma has to admit, even if he doesn't necessarily like their personalities,
Or thinks they're totally useless.
He's surrounded by hotties.
at least the scenery's nice. But so they decide that they want to go to the hot springs town, and Kazuma and Aqua are being kind of, I guess they're trying to be coy about it. However, then it shows the next day when they're getting ready to go, and Kazuma and Aqua are up before the sun comes up, which is a pretty
Yeah, for the people who
huge
just want,
feat,
considering the scene before, they just wanted to spend a good load of their lives lazing around the mansion.
Considering that they do spend a good load of their lives lazing around the mansion.
That too.
I mean, Aqua literally said at the beginning, or I think it was before Veneer came in,
Yeah.
that she hadn't moved except to take a bath from the spot on the couch where we saw her last episode.
Damn.
When she was laughing at Kazuma's holy sword Excalibur. So yeah, basically it's two lazy people are so excited to go to the hot springs town. Of course, Aqua's the water goddess, that they get up at the ass crack of dawn, and and they're ready to go. And then they're impatient, so Aqua goes to wake up the other two girls, and Kazuma goes into town to save a spot on the wagons. However, he first stops by Wizard's shop to talk to Veneer because he needs to tell him that he's going on a trip and he'll make a decision on the
renegotiated.
Yeah, on the renegotiated deal after he gets back. And we see Veneer packing up a bunch of items, and then we see Wiz passed out on the ground, covered in electricity burns, basically. You know, the humorous anime ones, not like the horrifying real life ones.
Right.
And we see a pretty funny scene where Veneer's like showing the item to Wiz, and she's like, "Oh, this is an amazing item, it'll fly off the shelves," and he's like, "Nope, I'm putting a stop to that," because basically anything that Wiz buys is useless junk.
As you would definitely remember from the Kono Subarashii OVA.
Right.
And yeah, the whole reason this time around is because the porta potty.
Oh.
She bought a big mass of porta potties that are incorrectly built.
Yeah, basically there's two little problems with them. So the way that they're supposed to work is, you take them out into the field with you when you go adventuring, and they act as a porta potty. They create water, and they make a sound to cover up the sound of you using the restroom. The problem with them is that they make too much noise, and they attract monsters. And then the create water feature would actually create a disaster because it works
Basically, flood
probably
wherever
too.
you're in.
Yeah, basically.
So yeah, unless you want to recreate the episode of Aqua with the gators from the first season, don't use it. Except you won't have a cage to sit in.
I don't know. If I was dungeoneering, that'd be a very useful item.
I just
saying.
wouldn't use it the way that it's intended.
Yeah.
Oh, let's throw it down here so that it makes noise to attract the monsters and then flood them.
Be like a sort of flood bang.
Yeah, basically. Yeah,
Use it to clear out the dungeon before you head in.
Yeah, it would make a lot of noise and then
Attract
flood
monsters
whatever
and flood.
room it's in.
Boom.
Or whatever floor it's on and all the floors that are below it.
Yeah, and then when the water finally recedes, just cruise on through, take your
If
pickings.
the water recedes. If not, then you create a brand new natural spring.
Nature's beauty.
Anyway, so Veneer suggests that they take Wiz with them.
Just so she doesn't stir up any more shit.
Yeah. And so they do. And then because he had stopped by Wiz's shop, when they get to the wagons, I assume a lot of them have already been booked.
All the good seats have been booked.
Yeah, so they decide to go on this one wagon. However, it has one fewer seats than they actually need.
Because a dragon is taking one of them.
Yeah, because somebody paid for one of the seats to put some luggage there and a dragon. A baby red dragon, I believe they said. And then so we get a funny scene where they play rock, paper, scissors to decide who has to sit on the back of the wagon.
And considering
Aqua has the worst luck. Yeah.
Even after blessing it.
Yeah, even after giving herself a blessing to increase her luck, she still has the worst luck.
And loses the Kazuma, who doesn't even need a buff. He doesn't need his luck skill. He's just too good at junking.
Yeah, and then he explains that he's never lost at rock, paper, scissors since he was a kid.
In that game, he's basically blank.
Yeah.
From No Game No Life.
I mean, that's impressive.
It is impressive.
But yeah, so then they leave on the trip, and while they're in the wagons, Kazuma looks outside and notices a dust cloud coming towards them. So he talks briefly with the guy driving the wagon, and the guy driving the wagon gives a few
Possible
explanations. And
Lizard runners.
Lizards runners, which he says they probably aren't because the runner princess or whatever got killed the other day.
Right.
By some adventurers.
Sand
That
whales.
ended well.
Sand whale.
The same Zero.
What was it? It was
Running land hawks.
running land kites.
Kites.
Or
running hawk kites.
Yeah, running hawk kites.
which are basically ostriches with bald eagle heads on them.
And they appear to be drawn to very dense material.
Not sure why.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly about that. However, so basically he's like, well, we shouldn't be carrying anything dense enough that that they would be drawn to us. So Cosmo's like, okay, and relaxes for a second and looks back, notices that they're coming straight at them.
And then good old darkness.
Yeah, the driver says what was it? We would need to be carrying something as heavy as a mantite or something like that.
Some fictitious metal stronger than titanium but lighter than steel.
And then Kazuma turns around the darkness and is like, you're drawing them towards us. Your rock hard muscles.
Hey, I'm still a lady here.
I just love
how she's like, hey. Like it's like, oh, you went a step too far.
Getting that from darkness of all people.
Right.
I mean, just let that sink in.
But
actually, we got a couple.
She
reactions
reveals
to darkness
that her armor is made out of a mantite composite. And so they stop the wagons. The adventurers that were hired to protect the wagons jump out. And then, of course, our group jumps out to also help out since it has cosmic reasons.
Well,
it's kind of their fault.
It's more like Aqua, Megami, and Cosmo jump out, and then Darkness is dragged out.
Yeah.
Cosmo, is sorry for the trouble that the resident pervert caused. And,
and then we get a funny scene where Darkness runs out ahead, and all the other adventurers misunderstand what's going on. And keep praising Darkness for being so brave.
And then Cosmo's like, sorry.
Sorry.
That's not the case.
That's not the case. She runs out in front, and they think that she's using one of the Crusader skills to draw...
Decoy.
Yeah, basically like a war cry or something like that.
It's really interesting.
Gets all the aggro.
It's really interesting to see other perspectives on this. If Cosma said literally shit, like nothing,
Unbelievable.
these adventurers would praise her.
Well, he didn't really say anything aloud. He just thought it to himself.
Yeah,
he was just like, no. Oh.
Well, I was sure that at the very end he bowed.
Oh, he did.
He
he went in a straight what is it, Dogaza position.
Yeah.
The prostrating oneself. But I'm pretty sure everything that he said was all mental.
Mental aside.
But yeah, so she goes out. They think that she's using a Crusader skill. What else? One of the adventurers uses a bind skill that creates ropes.
Try to round up all the eagle ostriches.
And she's like, ropes? Jumps straight into them and gets tied up. And they're like, oh, she jumped in the way because she knew that if I attacked them, then they would all focus on me instead. She's brave.
I'm trying to help, but I got in the way.
And then, while the guy's talking,
cuts right over to
it cuts
face.
over.
Perf.
She's in fucking heaven.
Oh god, Darkness.
Never change.
I'd have too much trouble with that.
Yeah. But so it looks like this is definitely a two-parter episode here, which is actually I would consider it to be the first two-parter that we've had from this season for Kono Subarashii.
I think we had a two-parter in the first series.
Wait, so for this season?
For this season though, because the
Kangaroo Court, but episode 1 was kind of a.
Well, I mean, it's not really like setting up, they're going somewhere and then we get to it in the next episode like it was here. So
yeah, the journey is a good part of the story this time around. So this is.
But so next episode we'll see the end of this fight, which I'm sure will be ridiculous,
and some Hot Springs goodness.
Yes, and then some Hot Springs goodness. So definitely looking forward to that.
It's Konosuba. When have we not looked forward to Konosuba?
Yeah, that is definitely the case. I really I mean, it's kind of a little early to talk about it, but I really, really, really hope that it gets a third season.
It would deserve nothing less than a third season.
Just keep going.
Just keep going.
Go on forever for all I care, please.
This is what needs to be Naruto.
Yeah, this is what deserves to be a super series.
Agreed. Not some links.
And that's all we're going to say about that.
All right, Forrest Gump, take us out.
So let us know what you thought of the anime, what you thought of our reaction in the comment section below.
Yep, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't.
But that's going to do it for this episode of Anime Reaction. I'm DK.
I'm Zero.
And I'm Rizzo. See you next time.
And go ahead and click on my face to go to our most recent Otaku Saga Talks.
Click on my face to go to Otaku Saga Gaming, our gaming channel.
And click on the waifu to subscribe to Otaku Saga. And if you'd like to help support us, go ahead and check out our Patreon page. Oh, wait. Oh. Sorry, it needs to be a short one.
Yeah, there we go.